Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. I'm going to show you another project that I have already done and see some very useful results. First of all, I would like to introduce this tool to you. It's called Streamlit. Basically, it is a set of open source Python framework for data scientists and AI ML engineers to deliver dynamic data apps with only a few lines of code. So I find it very interesting because the deployment of this open source Python framework is just by people install the package, and you can actually dynamically show the data in a web page. By the way, if you are already familiar with the different packages in Python, you know that you have millions of ways to plot the data. But this one is interesting because it can deploy also in their website. I think in the app gallery, you can see here, there are lots of projects by different people, and you can try each of them. For example, this one. This one is showing you a different type of chart. Okay, so example, you can see the code below and you can see the graph above. So basically, there are so many possibilities you can realize with this toolkit. For example, this one pretty map, I find it very interesting because you just input the name of a city and you are going to get a very cute map. For example, you see this one. Yeah, I think it's Macau. Yeah, you can see the map in a very interesting form. So without further ado, I'm going to go to my project. So my project is to show the stock price dynamically. So the idea is that whenever I choose a different the stock label, for example, AMD, right? I'm going to see the candle chart and also the 30, 60, 90 days moving average of the end of day price, just to visualize the stock price. Okay, this is a quite simple task. I mean, you can do it in many different ways using Python package. But here I just want to make something like a dashboard. The dashboard, I make the upper part. One upper left is about an individual stock. Then SP 500, the entire SP 500 performance, and then on the lower side, I'm using some sample macro economic information. For example, this one is US GDP and the interest rate. Of course, you can also change this to your US GDP growth rate to interest rate if you think that makes more sense. Or on the lower right side, you can see the US inflation and the unemployment rate chart. Okay, so basically I want to have this kind of a dashboard to understand the current situation. But based on this, you can add millions of other possibilities to add macro, micro, and even I think in the future maybe we can also explore the possibility to dynamically show financial performance of individual stock. So you can have a comprehensive view of the stock, general stock market, and the macroeconomic situation. Okay, so how do I get here? Basically, I need to have four Python file. This is the first time I try to build a few Python files and make them work together. Okay, so important thing is that you make them in the same folder, and eventually, if you want to run this app you build, you need to streamlit run main.py in your folder. Okay, so I will not spend time to explain to you about how to run it because in the documentation, in the example, there are a lot of description. It's very clear. And if you want to type some prompts to our system, usually you go to the terminal, this part. So basically, let me go through all these documents quickly. First of all, I have the let me show you the different sub-py documents. Okay, the first one is a thread. Okay, for security reason, I have already deleted the API key. You need to get the API key in Thread website. It's very useful. You can get different macroeconomic metrics, the different data sets, okay, like GDP and the federal funds rates and so on. It's very useful. Okay, if you interact with ChatGPT, you can get the code very quickly. And you see, first of all, you need to be able to import this thread API and also to fetch the data set. And also you need the Streamlit at this moment. I think the most important part is about this part. To get this to work with the whole application. This is my assumption because I'm not an expert of coding, so I suppose this part serves to link to the app. Then we see the next part is about stock.py. Okay, previously actually the code was more complicated, but I got a lot of error. For example, I wanted to project the stock price for the next 30 days and plot them all together. However, during the process, because there are many definitions, many definition of the functions and the algorithm, it makes the file very cumbersome and complicated. So eventually, I get this rather simple format, I think, because you can see here. Let me try this one. Empty stock. Let me check. Yeah, you see, it only goes to the available information. Okay, 2024 March of the data source. So it does not add the prediction data here. Okay. But I mean, you can do a lot of work to modify, manipulate the data set, but the main idea is here. First of all, to use the YFinance, this package, to actually to get the data from different ticker of the stock. Okay, add moving average. Of course, this is to have the moving average line. You can see here. Okay, and you can also cancel some of the data and you see the moving average. Yeah, in this way is more clear. And of course, I make the prediction price this function. I believe this function works to predict, but eventually I failed to put them together, to put in the graph together. Okay, so this is the stock.py. Eventually, let's go to plot. The next one, we go to the plotting.py. In this part, I was trying to actually define different plotting function to eventually be used in the main file. Okay, so in this part, I think you can see basically we have two plot function. One is to plot economic data. The other is to plot the candlestick with moving average. Okay, so the most important part is that I'm using the Plotly, this package. I think it's very useful. Like you see, the display of the data is very dynamic. You can zoom in, zoom out, choose different data to show or not show, and come back. Okay, yeah. So in this part, I think the most important part is to debug. Because if you use GPT or Copilot, you can get the code very quickly. But I always use GPT. I do not have Copilot, so I need to check with GPT each time with a part of the code and the error code to debug. Eventually, in the main file, it will import the necessary package. import different functions from the different Py file, and make them work together. So in order to get the Standard & Poor 500 symbols, it actually goes to the Wikipedia page to get the list. Then, of course, you can see here the sidebar here to select the stock symbol. Okay, it serves to give you this choice window. And the next part is actually to import the different functions of different Py file and make them work together, okay, so that you can check. I believe there will be some more ways to clean this code, make them more streamlined, more easy to read. But at this moment, I get this result. So eventually, this is the application that I get. You see it after I run this code, like I showed you before. Streamlit run main.py. It actually jumps to this local server URL, and you can see the result. I think it is okay at this moment because you see different data you can choose, and it shows correctly. Yeah, and I would say this is a partial success. If you want to implement more complicated algorithm and to see more complicated results, of course you can try. And there are already some very good examples on the website you can try. I believe you will get more insight from there. And I wish my solution at this moment will be a start point for you to refer to. Okay. So if you have any question or any doubt, feel free to leave a comment. So I'll see you next time. Wish this will be useful for you. Thank you.